The Ugly Duckling by Hans Christian Andersen, Denmark, 1844. The Ugly Duckling is a folk tale that I have slightly reformulated and tried to adapt to today's situation for minority children in the majority community. Once upon a time, one bright spring morning, a mother duck was pleased that her eggs had begun to hatch. Mother duck was very proud of her fluffy ducklings, but one of them looked different from the others. "Oops, that is a very ugly duckling," said one of the other ducklings. "He can't even talk." They say he can't even talk, but in fact he can talk, but it's different from them. 20 years ago I worked as a teacher in a primary school in Norway. When a student could not speak Norwegian, some Norwegian teachers said that this student cannot speak. For these teachers, to speak was only to speak Norwegian. When the mother duck took her ducklings to meet the other animals in the farmyard, a row began. Here is where the real problems begin. The ugly duckling doesn't fit in here, in the other duck's ideal world. And the comments begin. "If I had had such an ugly duckling, I would have kept it hidden," said another duck. "He looks like a monster," said the turkey. "I have never in my life seen something so ugly," said the hen. "Who let this creature in my yard?" asked the rooster. Everything that is different is ugly to them because they are not used to seeing other kinds as themselves. It's about the otherness. The otherness is not accepted here. Adapting to the outside society has begun, and it is in this context that the individual's self-confidence and identity will take shape. How the society perceives you reflects back to you and helps shape your self-confidence. When you hear comments like "you are ugly" or "you are a monster" as a child, this makes your self-confidence and your self-worth very low. When you enter to a society, people tie some expectation to you. When the ugly duckling and his siblings came to his society, those expectations were okay for the duckling's siblings, but not for him. It was easy for the duckling siblings to adapt to that society, but difficult for the ugly duckling, because he doesn't belong there. Our being is created by our interactions with others. How others perceive you and their expectations of you help create oneself. The ugly duckling looked to himself as an ugly duckling, and therefore he doesn't belong in that community. His behavior is abnormal. Therefore, the feeling of shame follows. He decided to escape the things that make him unhappy. Every single day, the poor duckling was teased, beaten, ridiculed, and chased. Finally, he was forced to leave the farmyard. Now I am alone, thought the ugly duckling. He came out to the wild ducks. The wild ducks said to him, "You are ugly, but that will not matter if you don't want to marry one from our family." Poor thing, he had no thoughts of marriage. All he wanted was permission to lie among the rushes and drink some of the water on the moor. He is accepted here as long as he does not try to come into the group and spread his ugliness. Next, he met a duck. He turned away his head to hide it under his wing, and at the same moment a large, terrible dog passed quite near him. His jaws were open, his tongue hung from his mouth, and the duckling's eyes glared fearfully. He thrust his nose close to the duckling, showing his sharp teeth, and then splash, splash, he went into the water without touching him. "Oh," sighed the duckling, "how thankful I am for being too ugly. Even a dog will not bite me." The duckling interprets the dog behavior as meaning that he is ugly. It is not so much about others' opinions of us, but more about our understanding of their view of us. Positive self-image and inherent worth is very important. Self-confidence is an important aspect of emotional intelligence and is a strong foundation to successful life. When you are feeling low on confidence and poor self-esteem can influence every aspect of your life, stopping you from having fun and achieving your goals. One day, the ugly duckling arrived at a cottage where a woman lived with her cat and her hen. A new social system. The cat and the hen were concerned about themselves and did not show empathy. "If you think you are going to live here, you must be able to lay eggs," said the hen. "Or say meow," said the cat. However, the duckling could neither lay eggs or say meow. "But I am very good at swimming and diving," said the duckling. "That is nothing that is of use to us," answered the hen. Neither the cat nor the hen showed empathy to put themselves in his position. A peaceful and friendly relationship needs the understanding of others. Both the cat and the hen expect something of him from their own standpoint. They had the power to define, and the ugly duckling has to adapt to their definition. So he tried to talk about something he was good at, namely swimming and diving. he talks about mastering something, but the others define what he can do to be counted as mastering. So mastering is very important for feeling of inherent worth. The duckling was forced to leave the cottage, and again he was all alone. After many months of drifting alone from one place to another, the duckling finally arrived at a pond. There he saw the most beautiful swans he had ever laid eyes on. If I would dare to go over there and say hi, they would probably kill me because I'm so ugly, he thought to himself. His self-confidence is so damaged that he thinks they will kill him because he is so ugly. Even if I get killed by them, it is better than being beaten by dogs, teased by hens, or chased by humans. He prefers to be killed than to live with all the negative things he experiences. The little duckling approached the swans carefully, and he said to them, "Kill me, I am too ugly to live. Kill me, I am too ugly to live." However, suddenly he saw his own reflection in the water, and he was no longer an ugly duckling. He was a swan, a beautiful swan. Who would have guessed that all this time I have been a swan? I never thought I would be this happy, he shouted. Finally, he understood that he is not ugly, but beautiful. He could see his own reflection, which is not easy for everyone to see. Either you should see your own reflection, or your parents should show you. If you are weak, and if your parents have many problems, what can happen? This story is talking about recognition. Everybody, and especially in our context, children, should be recognized by others. By others, I mean parents, family, the legal system, and society. The ugly duckling was not being recognized as he was. Everybody would decide how he should be. Recognition is an important factor of social interaction and a vital element in the formation of a person's identity. A positive circle of reciprocal recognition establishes a strong feeling of solidarity, where the individuals feel that they are important and respected members of the community. Now in the West, there are many swans that might be soon seen as the ugly ducklings. Our mission and our task is to see that they are good and beautiful, not ugly. We must help them to see their real image of themselves and believe in themselves. We must see in them their researchers, not focus on their lack. We should learn that all children are beautiful. It doesn't matter if a child is a duckling or a swan or other varieties. We live in a diverse society that should take care of all people, both swans ducklings, and other varieties, regardless background. Thank you for your attention.